There are two critical reforms that have come to the fore. The first is the announcement by the President in June this year on the establishment of the National Ports Authority as an independent subsidiary of Transnet, and significant progress has been made in establishing the infrastructure of the subsidiary and the kind of role that it would play in relation to investments in each of the ports in order to facilitate the efficiency of the ports themselves. It is hoped that by October this year, a further RFI would be issued by TNPA to establish market appetite for the building of the point terminal at the Durban port. And that will be a huge infrastructure investment in respect of the Durban port. But the second key reform area is exploring the potential that for investment in the port terminals in Durban and in the Ngqura port in the Eastern Cape. And today, two requests for information will be issued by Transnet in respect of the second aspect of the reforms. These reforms are in line with the structural reforms that the President and government have indicated will be forthcoming from Transnet, but from other entities as well, and is a further demonstration of government's commitment to continuing with the structural reforms in improving the efficiency of its logistics infrastructure, but thirdly, creating opportunities for partnerships with South African business and international business as well in bringing the best of breed to South Africa in relation to both knowledge of the kind of technology that is required, but also the cash that is required to undertake the upgrading of infrastructure and equipment at these ports as well. The direct impact of this will be to boost job creation, particularly for young people, to provide training for youth in new maritime skills, and to create opportunities for Black businesses where there are many professionals who are looking for opportunities to actually make their entrepreneurial spirits more effective in the kind of climate that we actually find ourselves. There are, of course, still going to be challenges as we go forward in terms of investment in equipment, in particular, the investments in the port infrastructure that I indicated earlier on, and in particular in relation to freight rail. A lot more needs to be done by law enforcement agencies to stop the vandalizing of rail infrastructure, and in particular, the theft of copper cables, which act as a major disruptive force.
Yes, indeed, we are on track to reforming the Transnet as part of the broader strategy and policy of national government to reform the state-owned entities. Now, there has always been a lot of noise when we talk about the PSP, that people are saying we are privatizing the assets, public assets. In reality, that is not what we are doing. We will continue to own those assets. They will resort under the state. But what we are doing is to invite the private sector to participate on key infrastructure projects that we are embarking upon, and in solutions that are necessary in respect, for example, to TFR to deal with your cable theft and transitioning, perhaps in some instances, from reliance on electrical power to adjust to diesel as well to make sure that even during difficult times, we will continue to operate well, but also that together with them, we can invest in the rehabilitation of our infrastructure as well. And these matters we are dealing with, ladies and gentlemen, within the context in which the country has been downgraded many times, increasingly making access to funding very difficult and expensive. So in a way, we are adopting creative ways that can unlock funding from inside our country, capital from inside our country, and use that as an incentive, as the minister has pointed out, to attract foreign direct investment or international funding as well in the infrastructure. So that's what we are doing. So in sum, the assets of the public continue to resort under Transnet, but we will partner with the private sector on equity basis in respect of key infrastructural projects that would be embarking upon. I thought I should make just that one point. And